Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ninja Creamy Swirl. Ooh, ah. So this is the third video, and they've all been live videos as I've kind of worked through how does this thing work? Is it worth it? Do you need it? So first off, let me tell you, I like it more than I thought I was going to, and you don't have to upgrade, okay? And we can talk about that more, and I can answer some of your questions. A few things, if you haven't, hey Tanya, if you haven't watched some of the other videos, what I want you to know is this is a whole new thing with new pints, new everything. So far, every model of the Ninja Creamy has had new pints, and Cheryl's gonna get on in a minute. Which is frustrating because that's more money you have to spend every time there's a new model. This one, it makes more sense than it made in any of the other times before because this has different parts at the bottom, whereas the others were just plastic in different sizes.
Yeah.
Even with the original to the Breeze, there were differences so they wouldn't fit in, but it wasn't a real reason that you would have to upgrade. I didn't feel like. So, hey Elizabeth and Kitty Mommy and Tanya and all of you who are here hanging out with us. So I made a pint of vanilla using basically the same recipe I've been using in my Whole Food Plant-Based Ninja Creamy ebook too. And what that means is I've used a whole food plant-based thickener. Oh yay, Apple's here. Tanya, I did see the message that someone did swirl, and we'll talk a little bit about that too. Apple says, I don't even enjoy frozen foods, but I love Kathy and Cheryl and all of you in the community. And I've been keeping you in my thoughts. I'm sorry I've been bad about messaging you, but anyhow, we're thinking about you and we're real glad you're here. Elizabeth, I want to be you. Elizabeth says, great to see everyone tonight. Just got home from massage. Excited to watch you guys have creamies. So, since I just rinsed the pints 2 days ago and put in 2 frozen things, I didn't really go over the recipe. But if you've watched the other recipes, it's really easy. Half a cup of cooked white sweet potato or banana or pumpkin or, okara, soy milk pulp, almond milk pulp, something that can be a natural thickener. When you look into the recipe book here, you see it calls for a lot of puddings, a lot of coconut milk, full fat coconut milk, and even coconut cream, which doesn't really fit in how most of you eat who come here. So we're going to test out the Dole Whip worked great, or the pineapple fruit whip is what the swirl is calling it. Worked just fine. It was pretty tasty. And what was kind of surprising, because you're still going to spin your pint before you have a product to use the swirl part on. So I'm thinking of this as part A and part B, except this one goes with part B. So, think about that however you need to. Do you think it's helpful at all?
No, I think it is.
Cheryl's quiet.
I mean, when I look at it, I see the deluxe kind of here.
Yeah,
and then something new over here.
And it's not really like the deluxe.
But it's the shape.
Yeah, it is the shape. It's about the shape of the deluxe. The deluxe has like cremicino, slushy, different things like that. You can make all of those in your original. Now, I've been saying that for a long time. You can't make the swirl with the machine if you have an older one. But what you can do is respin it a few times and put it in a pastry bag. So all is not lost if you don't want to upgrade. Yay! Hey, Cool Cat and Betty Ann and Vegana. It's awesome to see all you guys today. Yes, and the swirl series continues. Oh, you just finished watching the Dole Whip? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I've left some of the stickers on my pints and stuff. Just so I can show you. some of these, and then I'm going to take some pictures of some of them. So what I do like about this is it does show like what to do. Like this part's going to come out when we're doing the swirl part. This has to do with the swirl. But in the end, it's also just a Ninja Creami pint, right? And it's a real pint. It's not a faux deluxe pint that actually isn't a pint. And I've only let this sit out for a few minutes. Now this may need a little more non-dairy milk, which I don't have, so I will put some water or something in it if I need to. Before, we would sit it down in here, and there were some little things here that it fit in. That's not the case anymore. This is a little different. And this obviously goes there. I say obviously, but you can't put it in any other way. That's awesome. Oh, yeah, and it does have it in French and English. So, because she was saying maximum fill line. So it does say that here, and then on the other side it says max fill. I think it was built for Canadians, even though they're charging Canadians more for it. So we set that in there. I've let it go just maybe 10 minutes. This is still going to go on just like before. Let's see if I can get in there a little bit better. Right, so we put this on here and we click it in, right? So we've got that. All right, this slides in like the deluxe instead of just sitting in there. So I'm going to take this and slide it into the back. There's some little grooves here that it goes in. Okay, I'm going to turn it on because last night I didn't turn it on first and it was mad. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on first. This is just about spinning the pint. So we still spin the pint before we can make a swirl. You don't have to make a swirl. That is up to you. But I want to show you, let's see if this will work. Yeah, I think that works. Although, Cheryl, you want to come over this way so they can see your pretty face? This is down here. You're funny. Okay, so I've got the power. Did I turn the power? Turn the power on. And now I'm going to just twist this and it comes in and locks. You heard the lock?
You see all the other lights flashing.
And now you see soft serve flashing. And I don't know if can you see them? There you go. You can see them flashing better now. So if I just want to make this a scoopable mix, I'm going to do that. If I don't want to bother with the swirl. If I want to swirl, like we're swirling it today, baby. We're swirling it. So I'm going to click this, and it's literally, I just have to tell you now, it's literally going to be 6 minutes of this. So talk amongst yourselves, ask questions. I will try to go over there away from here.
I'm going to turn my mic off so
Okay.
I don't have interference.
So it's going to be louder. You did not miss the recipe, but basically it's a half a cup of cooked white sweet potato. I probably put a teaspoon of vanilla in there. You could use sweetener of choice to taste. You could use dates, but it's going to taste a little caramely. I used agave nectar in this. You could use maple syrup. You could use any sweetener to taste. I blended it up in a blender and then I put it in here. So I'll probably put that recipe up on the blog, but it may be a little bit before that happens. I want to see if I can get this where. Oh. There we go. I'm going to push the button, then we're going to show you. Oh, I have to push more than that button. Push the soft serve button, and then it gives me other lit up options. Milkshake, sorbet, and gelato turn off when I click soft serve. So I'm going to do light ice cream because that's what we use 99% on whole food plant-based ice cream. Oh, it's only 4 minutes. Okay, so it's going to be really interesting. I found that 6 minutes that we did yesterday for the 1 ingredient pineapple fruit whip, that made it super duper 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 creamy. So it would have been the equivalent of maybe doing the original on light ice cream, scraping it down and respinning 2 to 3, maybe even 4 times, depending on how cold your freezer is. Since this is 2 minutes less, I'm anticipating that we might have to do a respin, because I saw just how creamy and fluffy it was. It was so creamy and fluffy, I actually had to remove some of the product to even do a swirl. And just know, again, if you already have a deluxe, you have an original, you have a breeze, whatever you have that's working for you, I am not telling you you have to get the swirl. But there's a lot of questions about the swirl, so we're going through this, and I'm working on the Whole Food Plant-Based Ninja Creami ebook 3, so might as well, right? Might as well add in all the tips and tricks for this one too. It is almost $100 more than most of the other models. And right now, don't forget, if you don't have a Ninja Creami, you could go to like Amazon Warehouse. They still have them at Costco. I believe they might still have them at Sam's Club at a discount. At this point, the Ninja Creami Swirl is not even available on Ninja's website. I got this one from Crate and Barrel, and that worked out pretty well. I'm just going to come over and check on the time. Sorry to just be talking at you. It sounds to me like it might be coming up. We got about 2 more minutes, about halfway. So the difference between the 2 settings, the swirl and the scoopable, is going to be how soft it makes it. Because to be scoopable, it doesn't have to be soft enough to squeeze through and swirl. And probably in the next couple of days, at least on Monday, if I don't do it over the weekend, I'm going to freeze 2 containers of the same mixture, and then we will do one on scoopable setting and one on the swirl setting, and then we'll see how that goes. What I'm thinking, there was an engineer who checked the revolutions per minute or whatever, and all the different settings are just a matter of how slow or fast the rod comes down and how fast or slow the rotations of the blade goes. So it's just going to be a variation on that. But yesterday, because I felt like it made it much fluffier, much creamier, there was no ice wall to scrape away. And I did just use frozen pineapple and pineapple juice. So there was no thickener per se. I mean, obviously the fruit is the thickener. And I'm coming back over.
Somebody said they thought it sounded quieter, and I think it sounded quieter because I turned my microphone off.
Well, and I walked into the other, we have an open floor plan, but I did walk into the other room just to not stand by it. But I do think it is a bit quieter too. So let's see. And it's okay. Let's see. Let's go back. Yeah, it was 4 minutes for this one last night. It was 6 minutes, so that's why I thought. We'll talk about that. Oh, it doesn't sound as loud as yesterday. It's because I moved.
And I turned my camera off. My
microphone off.
Microphone off.
Okay, and Tanya's saying, wonder what would happen if you didn't think you wanted swirl, so say sorbet, then changed your mind. You would have to then go back and respin until it's the proper texture. That's all. So you can tell if you could extrude out or not. Most of the time, I love the Ninja Creami pints because they're so scoopable, so that's not going to really work. My Ninja Creami didn't care which button I push. And in general, that is true. With the swirl, we have to be a little careful, and you'll see why if you haven't seen it yet. Monday? Oh, do it. Someone else told me my accent's coming back. It went away for a long time. Yeah, okay, so let's take a look at this. Pull it back. And are you ready? I'm excited. Okay, so I'm gonna push this. And yeah, that's smooth.
Wow.
Even at 4 minutes, look at that.
It's impressive.
Okay, so let's...
It's a much larger hole down the middle than in the other models.
It is. The blade seems to be much more powerful. This little... Let's see. Get it where you can see it. This little nib is much larger, too. So it does seem to be built more for doing all the things. I'm going to take a bite just because I want to. It's so good. Here. It's a really good texture. And so I didn't check this last time, but there's not an ice wall, so I'm not sure how they solved that, if it's just how fast it's going or what. But there's not an ice wall. I did leave it out for just a couple of minutes. So then we take this out. So if we had done scoopable instead of soft serves, I keep saying swirl, soft serve, we just scoop it. You know what? If I decided I couldn't be bothered, I can still just eat this. Sometimes I would make my Ninja Creami pint this soft, kind of almost frosty consistency, just because that's what I wanted. This is vanilla. It has soy milk in it. It has white sweet potato, Korean white sweet potato, which is a little darker, so that's why it's not white.
You can taste the sweet potato. To me, it tastes a little bit more like birthday cake.
It tastes like vanilla. It does taste like vanilla cake. And another thing you could do is take a vanilla pint, use vanilla, and add a little almond extract. Wedding cake. So you're welcome. Apple, and I think Apple's saying it does seem like they're blending a lot smoother with the first go. Now, also we're using soft serve. That's why I want to do a 1-to-1 comparison too, just to see, like, how does this do scoop differently? Because I'm curious if there's no ice wall, because if they've made it a little quieter, they've solved some of the blending problems. Then I'm going to be more likely to recommend, if you don't have a machine, to get this one. Right now, I think it's up in the air. Oh, almond extra. I learned about wedding cake flavor in New Orleans because they have snowball stands, and they would make vanilla almond wedding cake one. Let's see. I've got some other questions around here. Let's see. Oh, Elizabeth says, one time I was spinning a Creami and my power went out. I didn't know what to do. As soon as it came on 15 minutes later, the rod came back up. And if your stuff gets stuck like that, unplug it, plug it back in, which is kind of what the power did for you, really. Let's see. Make sure I didn't. All right, let's see. I think I agree. Like, I find often, though, a lot of appliances, no matter what's going on in the world, cost more in Canada. like the Archmira, the Miomat, a lot of the milk makers, the Ninja Creamies, and I'm not sure what that's about.
They're all coming from overseas, so it could possibly be whatever tariffs or taxes they have on wherever it comes from.
I don't know, but it makes me sad. That's why Amazon warehouse can be your friend. Now, I think they don't have the just Amazon warehouse on the list, but if you go to, let's say, Ninja Creami and scroll down past where you would click buy now, sometimes it'll say a discount one, a return.
Because we have something like that too, that sometimes import tax, I think, is like on car parts and stuff.
I don't know. That is just, all right. You know, who knows what's going on? But you know what is going on? This ice cream is going in my belly. I bought cones. There is a little oil in these cones. However, rest assured that I am developing cone recipes for Ninja Creami ebook 3. And hot fudge, and caramel, and some other stuff. Okay, so enough talking. I did find out, you remember I was like, why I got this lock unlock, right, on here? I was like, nothing's happening. Yes, it does. This pops out. And so when I cleaned it last night, that is what. So it looks like, oh, it should just go in there. And I was like, why isn't it going in there? Because you have to unlock it, Kathy. That's why. Okay. So this is where things get interesting. We're going to put this on here, lock it on, just as if we were locking this lid on almost, except it doesn't have quite the same click. Trying to decide, let's see if we can do it this way. All right. And like I said, I'm leaving some of those. There's a little drip tray down here. There's this thing. And remember, I thought this was going to be all kind of messed up. And this actually doesn't come into contact with the actual ice cream. It just comes into contact with this and pushes it through. So there's a blue thing here, and there's a blue thing here. And you match the blue things together, and you turn it. Okay, then I think I have to show you this way.
Do you want me to hold it?
Possibly. Okay, yeah, can you hold it about there? We're wanting to show this. No.
Oh.
Okay, I think I can do it by myself.
Here, I got it. I just didn't realize that part was going to flop.
Okay, so you got to show where it says open and close.
Hold on. I got to get my arm right.
Okay, you got it?
Yep.
Okay, so this is just on the bottom of the Creami pipe. This exists. So close is what we want it on when we're freezing it, when we're spinning it. When we're swirling it, see how that comes out? This little part down at the bottom. Okay, so that's where the little star thing comes, right?
Oh, you can see the little tube inside of there.
Can you kind of see right in there? Let's see. There's like just this tiny bit here. And I know that's hard to see. It's just a little bit. So one thing that I did not show you that I did before I put my other one back in is I rinsed that out and then closed it back and refroze the pineapple from yesterday. Does that make sense? So what we're going to see too is we're going to see something from in here pushing this out. Did you get a cone out for me?
I thought maybe you'd want a bowl again in the beginning.
Oh, give me one that's not broken though. I'll eat the broken one, but.
I was trying to find my sprinkles.
Okay, well we need to do this first.
Jeez.
This one's broken too. It'll be fine. I'll hold the broken part away from you.
They're all broken.
Okay, so then we take, let's see if I can do this. Come here. All right, so this handle we pull down to make this come out. I think this could be a good angle.
Oh, that's a great angle.
Don't I? Yeah, I just do this, right? Do I have to do something else? Did I do something else yesterday? No.
No, you just have to
it's
let
just
it
taking
push
a while.
the air out.
Okay. And you might be able to see from back in there is it's pushing air out. And I'm trying to hold it so it doesn't go out so fast. And I'm starting to see the blue thing, which is the thing that's squishing stuff for us. It's pushing air out.
Can see it moving forward. Here it comes.
Anticipation.
There it comes. It looks like one of those Play-Doh things, you know, when we were kids. That little Play-Doh thing you would push through.
I'm gonna get you. Oop. Here, I'll show you from the front.
This is too crazy.
I may have just messed it up a little bit, but I think I'm getting a better hang of it. If you pull, so it comes out faster the closer you pull it to you. So you can see the pusher here. Could you see it when it was underneath too, maybe? And so, yeah, and it's pushing all the air out. That's why it's going to take a little while before it starts. If you hold it down, it just comes out. It's a little bit crazy.
The ice cream pusher.
The ice cream pusher. That would be me. No. Tanya says I need to buy cones for the summer. Hopefully, I've got 3 different kinds of cone makers that I got last year that I didn't have time to make cones. So I'm going to do my best to make an oil-free cone. There may be also I think I can do it. I might have, we'll see what happens. Peanut butter sauce with PB2 is absolutely doable. Absolutely. Sandra's saying, can you make magic shell type coating that doesn't require coconut oil? Here's the thing. It's the oil that freezes when it hits the cold that makes it magic shell, that makes it where you can hit it. I'd have to see if there was something that would freeze as quick, but that would be why. You might be able to make one with, even with just chocolate chips. Magic shell, if we wanted to make not a whole food plant-based, no oil version, you just take some chocolate chips, melt it in the microwave, like maybe half a cup to a cup of chocolate chips, and maybe half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of coconut oil. And it is the oil that makes it freeze as soon as it hits that cold stuff. Tanya says you need one of those cone holders for your demo so you have free hands. Cheryl's supposed to be my cone holder.
Sorry.
I don't know what's going on.
I was looking for sprinkles.
We do have sprinkles somewhere. Okay.
I couldn't find them.
They're probably not right here. They're probably in the pantries. Okay, so we're going to do another one, and we'll do it this way. I'm going to still try and be moderate about holding this just a little bit and letting it go slow. It leaves more than like the yogurt machine does here, but if I just twirl it enough, I think that's pretty good.
It's pretty tasty.
Y'all, the texture is perfect. So the white sweet potatoes, you can get them that are white. Hannah yams are what Chef AJ calls them. Those work really well in this, but so do Japanese and Korean sweet potatoes that are red on the outside and white on, really more yellow creamy on the inside. So part of the reason the color is the color it is instead of like pristine white is I use vanilla extract. That's going to add color. So will vanilla powder. You know, there's a little bit of yellow in the sweet potato. If I wanted to make it closer, what I would do is use okara or soy milk pulp. Also, I've been making some almond milk with blanched almonds, and that using that in there would also give a whiter color, but it tastes really good. I know where some of the sprinkles are, I think, so I'll find them. Are they not in the pantry?
I'm not seeing them.
may have moved them. Could they be over here?
It's
Sorry,
okay.
guys. I'm going to look one place because I see up. Nope, it's not in there. There's some in a burlap and barrel box, but they may be over on my styling photography table.
Oh.
We all have those, don't we? Let's see. So for these 2 cones, we've used about half of this pint. You found some.
Sprinkle Bear. These are vegan sprinkles.
They are vegan sprinkles that I got in Texas a while ago. Sweet Ritual. And so from this, my experience would say that any of the recipes from any of my books are going to work. Oh, there's a big difference, Elizabeth. Elizabeth says, can you tell a difference between spinning the other Creamies and spinning this one? You're getting a much softer texture quicker using the soft serve. The one thing I can't do right this second, I guess I could. Theoretically, I could put the pineapple in there and see. We'll do it on Monday or over the weekend. I'm going to spin one on soft serve and we'll spin another on not soft serve and we'll see what it looks like the difference is. I need Tanya says you need another swirl now so you can sprinkle. No, she's eating the sprinkles. Why don't you try it?
Why? What do you want me to do? Make another cone?
Uh-huh.
I'll have finish this one.
I'll hold it for you. And go slower is better. You don't need to keep pushing it. You can leave it where it is and let it go slow. That looks great. That's the part that's hard. Ooh, you did good. Show everybody. That's great.
Little whirly doodle on the top.
They say it makes about 4 cones, and I think it just depends on how high you want to put them.
My mic is off.
Could you hear anything Cheryl was saying?
I said it had a little whirly doodle on the top.
A whirly doodle?
Whirly doodle.
Woo! So that's our test for tonight. So what I will say so far does Kathy approve of the Ninja Creami Swirl? I was expecting it to be like a 2 out of 10. Right now, I'm pretty much at a 8 out of 10. Apple says Cheryl is natural with the swirl. And Elizabeth says, what a beauty.
Might have worked at a Dairy Queen. My mic is off, so I don't think they heard that.
Professional looking cone. She said, I might have worked at the Dairy Queen. And Cool Cat says, I think you have to push towards the swirl when you end. It's very possible. There's like this little lag and more stuff is coming out, so I got to figure that out. But honestly, if someone hands you a cone at home and you're like, I don't think the top of the swirl is very good, I'm coming there and taking your cone away. She's going to put some swirl.
Oh, I need a little bowl.
Oh, you're going to, is that going to work?
Plus it's going to get all over if I don't have something to do it over.
Okay, here, why don't you put them in? You could dip it, or you can pour them on.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Okay.
Nope, because then I'm going to lose my cone. These don't come out.
If you have kids or grandkids, this would be super fun for them to do. I gotta say that. And again, let me preface this for like the 80 bazillionth time. I'm not saying you need or you must have this one. Whatever Creami you have will work great.
But you do need the sprinkles.
Cheryl thinks you need the sprinkles. I don't like sprinkles on my ice cream. I like the texture pure and smooth, so I really do like that. Yeah, and Betty Ann says, it looks like a lot of fun, but I live in a tiny apartment. It wouldn't work for you. And that is perfectly fine. I am not trying to say everyone must have this. But if maybe your Creami broke, or maybe you're getting your first Creami, and you have kids, this could be, I would have loved having this when I was young. Mm-hmm. And 2 days ago, I was just mad that Creami made this. So if you haven't watched those videos, like, I'm being more convinced. I feel like they've re-engineered this pretty well so far. We're going to keep making tests and keep finding out what the good, bad, and indifferent is about it. Serenity Bloom says, I worked at Dairy Queen and I could swirl with the best of them, though I'm not sure that has anything with working at DQ. Exactly. But the one thing I was most concerned about was, A, would the mixture even be super smooth? And the soft serve really does work. My other concern was how you would refreeze this, and I figured that out. So I'm going to try and do some little demos about like how to clean it and then refreeze it. Those will be little things that will happen all along the way. But yeah, kids, if you really like soft serve, and again, this was brought up the past 2 days, whole food plant-based people and vegans have been making nice cream for a long time, which is like frozen fruit and bananas and non-dairy milk, and it's the same consistency. So if you're already making nice cream and you got the Ninja Creami because you only want scoopable ice cream, this one isn't for you. But if you kind of wish you could do both, it's kind of great. And it did swirl this whole food plant-based mixture, which I'm pretty impressed with. We'll keep trying with some other things. I'm going to use probably do one that has date sweetened, and then we'll blend that and see how that works.
I like that it fills up the whole cone.
Oh yeah, it does really fill up the whole cone.
We need to, when you make your fudge stuff, we'll have to put the little
chocolate
in the bottom of the cone.
We could do that, or you can put a little chocolate chip in there too to keep it from leaking out. Mm-hmm. Betty Ann says it would be great if you have young kids. You would be the best parent or grandparent. Yes, yes. I think it would be really fun. Cool Cat uses her Yonana. We might be able to use ice cream cubes in the Yonana. You should be able to.
It's doing its retreat.
Yeah.
We have waited too long. It says you need no more.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think you're done. But what's cool when we take it off, there's nothing there. There will be a cleaning video. It probably won't be alive. I'll probably film the pieces because it's a lot to see the right angles. Tanya says, sadly, my kids are getting older and at the teen stage of eye rolls versus ice cream magic. I don't know. Teenagers like ice cream too. And Cool Cat, there will be a cleaning video, I promise you.
What we saw yesterday, there's not a whole lot to clean.
Yeah, and can you hold this for me for a second? So I'll close this, I'll press this button, and I turn it out. And what I expected was a whole hot mess in there, but see, there's not even anything in the lid. Look at this. That's what makes me happy. So still, all you have to do is take a wet paper towel and wipe off that little nib at the end of the rod. Yeah, Vegana says, I've done the nice cream cubes in Yonana, works fine. And I'm even doing an ice cream demo for the NHA. And we're going to do, most of it's going to be in the Ninja Creami, but we're going to do some of those same mixtures in ice cube trays and blend them in the Vitamix. You just have to let them set out for a little bit. This one you don't have to, I'm curious about how if we have to let it sit out at all. And Betty Ann says, yeah, I have to say Ninja's been stepping it up. I do feel like, at first I thought this was a cash grab. Mm. I really did, because I'm like, who needs this? But if this part of the machine is significantly better, I think it's fun to have ice cream cones like everyone else, and I was already going to try and make some whole food plant-based ones. Oh, I've got my ice cream back. All right, guys, well, I think we're going to say so long for tonight. Tomorrow and Sunday I have classes, so I may not, if I can snap back on or if I can make a video of something that we can post, I will. If not, I'm going to try and go live on Monday with some more Ninja Swirl extravaganza goodness. If you have questions, if you have things that you want to see, please put them in the comments, and that way I can have some stuff to look at. We're also going to be gone for a little while. We're taking a couple of trips. If you let me know, like Friday, Saturday, I might be able to make some of those videos and schedule them for while we're gone. Okay? You guys just have the very best night. I know things are a little tough. We're all a little stressed out.
Yep.
Just take some deep breaths. Enjoy something healthy that works for you and works for your plan.
Yep.
Okay? And let me know what you think about the Ninja Creami. Do you think it's for you? If you haven't told me already, tell me what version Ninja Creami you actually own, if you own one, or if you're just curious about Ninja Creamis. Let me know, because that will help me make better content that you want to see. Okay? All right, you guys, have the very best night.